Centuries ago, ships laden with sugar, rum, and enslaved people crossed the Atlantic, creating one of the world's first truly global trade networks. Those same waters, once stained by human suffering, now carry the seeds of a new vision, a vision of Africa and the Caribbean, building a modern trade empire, powered by culture, innovation, and ambition. Today, ports in Lagos, Accra, and Abidjan hum with activity, while Kingston, Port of Spain, and Havana grow into bustling hubs of commerce and technology. Once separated by the brutal history of colonialism and slavery, these regions are reconnecting in ways that could reshape the global economy. Imagine a world where Africa and the Caribbean are no longer just suppliers of raw materials or recipients of foreign aid. Instead, they are partners, investors, and innovators, trading in technology, culture, and services. Picture a continent where a startup in Accra can export software to Kingston just as easily as raw cocoa to London, or where Caribbean artisans gain access to African markets for fashion, music, and film. This is not a distant dream, it's happening now, quietly, and with remarkable speed. From small-scale traders leveraging digital platforms to large-scale shipping and logistics companies, the foundations of a new trade empire are being laid. In this video, we'll explore the journey from sugar plantations to smartphones, uncover the key players driving this transformation, and see how two continents, once divided by history, are now collaborating to build a trade network that could redefine the global economic map. Buckle up. This is the story of ambition, ingenuity, and the rebirth of Afro-Caribbean trade. To understand the Afro-Caribbean trade renaissance today, we must first look back at history. Long before the age of modern startups, the Atlantic was the stage for one of the most consequential trade networks in human history. Between the 16th and 19th centuries, European colonial powers established a triangular trade system connecting Europe, Africa, and the Americas. Ships carried manufactured goods from Europe to Africa, enslaved people from Africa to the Americas, and sugar, tobacco, coffee, and other commodities from the Americas back to Europe. This system created immense wealth for European nations, but it did so at a staggering human and social cost. Entire African communities were uprooted, and Caribbean societies were shaped by the labor of enslaved Africans. Despite the horrors of slavery and colonization, these centuries of enforced interaction also created enduring cultural and economic ties between Africa and the Caribbean. Languages, culinary traditions, music, and even agricultural practices were exchanged across the Atlantic. Today, these historical links form the cultural foundation upon which new economic partnerships are emerging. After the abolition of slavery, many Caribbean economies remained dependent on monoculture plantations, while African countries struggled under colonial exploitation. But a resilient spirit persisted. Traders, entrepreneurs, and diaspora networks found ways to keep connections alive, often informally, through remittances, knowledge exchange, and cultural practices. These informal networks were vital for survival and innovation. African merchants in the 19th century maintained commercial links with Caribbean markets, exchanging textiles, agricultural produce, and artisanal goods. In turn, Caribbean merchants sent goods and knowledge back to African shores, sowing the seeds of a trade culture that valued collaboration, adaptability, and ingenuity. Today, we can see the echoes of these historical connections in modern trade corridors, diaspora investment networks, and cultural collaborations. The historical memory of commerce, combined with shared cultural heritage, has become a springboard for contemporary economic empowerment. By understanding this history, we can see why Afro-Caribbean trade is not merely a business endeavor. It is a continuation of centuries-long dialogue, a reconnection of peoples and economies, and a reclamation of agency that had been denied for generations. This historical perspective sets the stage for understanding the modern trade partnerships that are now transforming both continents. Fast forward to the 21st century, and the Afro-Caribbean trade story is being rewritten on a modern, dynamic stage. No longer constrained by colonial hierarchies or limited infrastructure, African and Caribbean nations are forging partnerships built on technology, commodities, and services. African ports such as Lagos, Tema, and Abidjan now handle millions of tons of goods annually, efficiently linking regional economies to international markets. In the Caribbean, ports like Kingston, Bridgetown, and Port of Spain are similarly evolving into logistics hubs capable of facilitating rapid trade flows. Together, these ports are acting as the backbone for a growing network of commerce connecting both continents. Key commodities remain central to this trade. Cocoa from Ghana, coffee from Ethiopia, and tropical fruits from West Africa find eager markets in the Caribbean. Likewise, Caribbean exports, including sugar, rum, and seafood, are increasingly shipped to African nations where urban populations are growing and demand for diverse goods is rising. This reciprocal trade is no longer one-sided. African and Caribbean nations are negotiating fairer, mutually beneficial agreements that empower local producers and entrepreneurs. But trade today isn't just about raw materials. Technology, digital platforms, and innovative logistics solutions are transforming commerce. E-commerce marketplaces now allow African artisans to sell handcrafted goods directly to Caribbean consumers. Startups in fintech and mobile banking are linking financial systems across continents, facilitating faster, safer transactions. African software companies are exporting solutions to Caribbean businesses, while Caribbean media and entertainment content is being licensed in African markets. Partnerships are also emerging at a government and institutional level. Trade agreements, joint investment initiatives, and diaspora-led economic programs are formalizing channels that once relied on informal networks. These agreements are fostering economic diversification, encouraging investment in manufacturing, energy, and technology sectors, and supporting small and medium-sized enterprises on both continents. Cultural collaboration reinforces this economic exchange. Afro-Caribbean festivals, music and fashion are creating demand for goods that span continents, from clothing to musical instruments to digital media. Tourism is another connecting thread. Caribbean tourists explore African heritage sites, and African visitors attend Caribbean cultural events, bringing revenue and expanding market opportunities for local businesses. These modern partnerships demonstrate that the Afro-Caribbean trade network is no longer a relic of history. It is a vibrant, adaptive ecosystem where commodities, technology, services, and culture intersect. By leveraging shared heritage, technological innovation, and strategic collaboration, Africa and the Caribbean are building an integrated trade network that could rival traditional global powerhouses. The modern Afro-Caribbean trade network isn't just about goods moving across oceans, it's creating real, measurable economic impact for both continents. By strengthening trade ties, Africa and the Caribbean are boosting GDPs, generating employment, and fostering entrepreneurship at an unprecedented scale. Consider the numbers. West Africa alone produces over 70% of the world's cocoa, with Ghana and Ivory Coast leading the market. By exporting to Caribbean nations that have growing urban populations and refined processing industries, African producers capture more value locally instead of selling raw materials cheaply to foreign corporations. The Caribbean benefits as well. By importing higher quality raw materials from Africa, Caribbean businesses can produce refined goods, chocolate, coffee blends, and luxury products, and export them globally, creating jobs in manufacturing, marketing, and logistics. Tourism also plays a role, as cultural exchanges attract travelers, further stimulating local economies. But the impact extends beyond commodities. Technology, creative industries, and financial services are all major contributors. Startups in Lagos, Accra, and Johannesburg are employing thousands of young professionals, while their products and services reach consumers in Kingston, Port of Spain, and Havana. Mobile payment platforms, e-commerce sites, and digital marketplaces allow small businesses to operate across continents, increasing revenue streams and fostering innovation. Education and skills development also benefit. Cross-continental partnerships often involve training programs, mentorships, and knowledge transfer initiatives. Caribbean professionals learn new technological methods from African innovators, while African entrepreneurs gain insights into international marketing, creative industries, and logistics management. This symbiotic relationship strengthens the workforce, equips the next generation with marketable skills, and nurtures a culture of entrepreneurship. Socially, these trade partnerships are creating opportunities for previously marginalized communities. Women-led businesses, youth cooperatives, and artisanal collectives are gaining access to international markets, funding, and mentorship. By integrating these groups into the broader economic network, Africa and the Caribbean are fostering inclusive growth that benefits entire societies. In essence, the Afro-Caribbean trade renaissance is not just a business story. it is a story of empowerment. It transforms lives, strengthens economies, and builds resilience. The ripple effects of this collaboration, from improved living standards to innovative products reaching global markets, demonstrate that trade can be a powerful force for development, connection, and shared prosperity. Behind every successful trade network are the visionaries, entrepreneurs, and institutions that drive innovation and collaboration. The Afro-Caribbean trade renaissance is no exception. From tech startups to diaspora-led enterprises, these key players are shaping the future of commerce and creating opportunities that transcend borders. In Africa, cities like Lagos, Accra, Nairobi, and Johannesburg have emerged as bustling hubs of entrepreneurship. Tech incubators and innovation centers are nurturing startups focused on fintech, e-commerce, logistics, and digital services. Companies such as Flutterwave, Paystack, and Andela have shown that African businesses can scale globally while also serving regional markets, including the Caribbean. These innovators are connecting businesses, facilitating cross-continental payments, and creating digital marketplaces that allow goods, services, and ideas to flow seamlessly. And the Caribbean has its own innovators. Entrepreneurs in Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, and Barbados are leveraging technology to export music, fashion, and media to African markets. Caribbean fintech firms are also partnering with African counterparts to create secure, fast, and efficient payment networks. These collaborations are enabling businesses to operate beyond local borders, tapping into a combined market of hundreds of millions of people. Diaspora networks play an equally critical role. Africans and Caribbean citizens living abroad often serve as bridges, providing investment, mentorship, and market access. These individuals understand both sides of the trade equation: cultural nuances, consumer preferences, and business practices, and they are instrumental in fostering trust and collaboration. From diaspora-led venture capital to mentorship programs, these connections accelerate the growth of small and medium enterprises across continents. Governments and regional institutions are also key players. Trade agreements between African Union member states and Caribbean community countries are formalizing cross-continental commerce. Investment incentives, streamlined customs processes, and infrastructure projects such as upgraded ports and digital trade corridors are helping remove barriers that once stifled growth. Even cultural figures have economic impact. Musicians, filmmakers, and artists often double as brand ambassadors, creating global demand for Afro-Caribbean products and services. When a Jamaican dancehall hit goes viral in Lagos, or a Nollywood film gains popularity in Kingston, it's not just culture traveling, it's commerce, opening doors for merchandise, events, and digital content distribution. Collectively, these players form a vibrant ecosystem. Entrepreneurs innovate, diaspora networks connect markets, governments facilitate trade, and cultural icons create demand. Each plays a unique role, but together, they are building the foundation for a modern Afro-Caribbean trade empire, demonstrating how people, vision, and collaboration can reshape the economic landscape of two continents. As we look to the future, the possibilities for Afro-Caribbean trade are both vast and inspiring. The foundations laid by history, strengthened by modern innovation, and driven by visionary players, are setting the stage for a transformative economic era. Analysts predict that with continued collaboration, Africa and the Caribbean could create a combined economic impact measured in hundreds of billions of dollars, a figure that rivals some of the world's largest trade networks. By strategically investing in infrastructure, technology, and human capital, both regions can scale their trade networks, increase exports, and diversify their economies. One key area of growth is technology-driven commerce. As internet access expands across Africa and the Caribbean, e-commerce platforms, digital marketplaces, and fintech solutions will enable small businesses to reach international consumers. Mobile payments and blockchain-based solutions will reduce friction, increase transparency, and foster trust between cross-continental partners. These innovations will create more opportunities for entrepreneurs and open new revenue streams. Energy and logistics infrastructure are also pivotal. Upgrading ports, expanding shipping routes, and investing in renewable energy projects will lower costs and increase efficiency. Faster, more reliable transportation and energy systems will allow African and Caribbean businesses to compete globally rather than being limited to regional markets. Cultural and creative industries will continue to play a major role. Music, film, fashion, and digital content can act as both soft power and economic engines, connecting audiences across continents while generating substantial revenue. By combining cultural export with commercial strategy, Afro-Caribbean nations can create a new class of global brands rooted in heritage and innovation. Education, mentorship, and skills development will further enhance this growth. A generation of entrepreneurs, technicians, and creative professionals trained to operate across continents will ensure that the trade network is sustainable, resilient, and continuously evolving. Knowledge-sharing initiatives between Africa and the Caribbean will create a competitive advantage that cannot easily be replicated elsewhere. Perhaps most importantly, this future outlook is not limited to elite investors or large corporations. Small businesses, women-led enterprises, and youth initiatives can all participate in and benefit from this emerging trade ecosystem. Inclusive growth ensures that prosperity spreads beyond city centers to communities that have historically been marginalized or overlooked. The story of Africa and the Caribbean is one of resilience, innovation, and partnership. From the sugar plantations of centuries past to the digital marketplaces of today, these regions have continually adapted, connected, and thrived. Looking forward, the integration of technology, culture, and trade promises to create a $1 trillion plus powerhouse, one built not by outsiders, but by the people, vision, and ambition of Africa and the Caribbean themselves. In the coming years, as ports expand, startups flourish, and cultural exports reach global audiences, this trade renaissance will continue to reshape economies, strengthen societies, and inspire a new generation to believe that the Atlantic can be a bridge, not a barrier.